What is up, players? It's War Boss Tay up in this mug. One of the side quests of the 2021 Summer Painting Challenge has to do with conversions. And if you don't know what the side quests are, there are 4 side quests to the challenge this year for anyone who wants to attempt doing the legendary tier of the challenge, in which case not only are you finishing your project, posting every single day, but also trying to make these 4 different posts. They could be videos, they could be just picture blogs, things you post on the Discord. Anyways, one of them has to do with conversions and kit bashes. I thought it would be really interesting, and it was very timely that Warhammer community focused on this Thousand Suns army. So let's go through it and hopefully get those cogs and wheels spinning in your head if you are thinking of tackling this challenge for the Summer Painting Challenge, this side quest that has to do with conversions and kit bashes. So this is from Jenny Ruskin's Thousand Suns collection, and there are so many great conversions in here. Not only, wow, she's a really good painter as well. That's very cool. I look at the flowers on the base of this Ahriman. I think that's really cool. I don't even know what product that is, but I love those pink flowers. They look almost tropical, very, very vibrant and bright. All right, so let's try and see what she's done that are conversion heavy. Oop. You see some Terminators and some Rubric Marines here. That's a beautiful, man, look at that cloak. I once tried to do a galaxy cloak like that. That was the day that I met Kanye West. I was painting Eldrad Othwan's robes, and I'd seen a picture online of someone who painted the back of his cloak actually to look like this, with a lot of very rich purple galaxy colors swirling in the background, and I think it's really cool. I think the stars are a little too white, too blotchy. I think they could use some haze around them. Right now it kind of looks like she just dipped her paintbrush in white paint and just flicked it, which is kind of unfortunate because look how beautifully blended those purples are, and that gold on the trim. I love, man, look at the color scheme on the orb at the end of this guy's staff. I also like the kind of weird looking greenish glow she's got on the blades and the eye lenses of these guys too. It's very interesting. It makes them stand out. All right, let's talk about, come on, let's show us some interesting looking conversions. Here we go. What the heck is this? I sculpted the Phoenix, the portal, and the other clear flames using an acrylic resin with a little contrast paint mixed in. Oh, okay. The basic shapes were cut from a clear plastic bottle, which I then applied the resin contrast mix to, and then shaped it into little spikes. It was done in many layers, leaving them to dry for a day in between each one. Holy cow! What is this supposed to even be? Flaunting their power by manifesting a giant phoenix. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. I think I thought it was something else that she had just painted, but the fact that she sculpted that from scratch, I mean, that is very ambitious. I don't expect anyone taking part in the challenge to do something that wild, but that is just amazing what the imagination can do. Like, you could really see all the different layers on that phoenix. It doesn't look like one thing of putty or resin that's been shaped. It does look like she built it up in many layers. That's so beautiful. Okay, this is really only the second time I'm reading through this. So I want to make sure that if she does point out any interesting conversion bits, that we could take a look at them together. Oh, here, the demon prince that she made from the Sphyranx from Warcry. I remember that cat. Very creepy, weird-looking creature. A cat with 3 eyes fit into the theme of the army. I always loved the model and an excuse to use it. The tiny wings. Oh, look at the wings. That is so terrific. So it looks like she just strapped some extra demon armor, chaos armor. You could use Space Marine armor, it looks like, or shoulder plates, shoulder pads. It does look like a bit of the Thousand Suns touch to it though, with that one symbol on it. But I'm not really too sure what else she had sculpted from scratch for this. Oh, look at him stepping out of the void. It looks like she used that clear epoxy resin to show the demon prince stepping out of the void behind it. Oh boy. That was really, really cool. And there is a shaman, some Zangors. I really like her conversions. I mean, the picture of that Sphinx, that demon prince, was the one that they put on the cover of this article. So that's the one I thought she would talk a little bit more about. But it looks like she really just went over it a little bit. I love the wings. They're so ridiculous. Little baby wings that she painted to look like almost like a tropical bird, like a parrot. That is beautiful. Okay, so I hope this maybe inspired you to think about the parts that you have. Like the Sphinx is a model from Warcry, which is for Age of Sigmar, but the fact that she thought she could find a place for it in her Thousand Sons army as a demon prince, just brilliant, inspired stuff. So take a look at your bits boxes. Take a look at your collection of extra arms, heads, helmets, things that you've collected over the years. See if you can put something together. They don't even have to be for the same regiment or faction as whatever you're painting. It could be something completely different from your painting project for the July Painting Challenge. And really, this is open mainly for those of you who are interested in tackling the legendary tier of the challenge. But for anyone who sees this video, I hope this has also given you a little bit of creative fuel to fan the flames of your creativity, your ingenuity, and to get in there, start cobbling something together in your bits box and creating something interesting and new. And one of the reasons why I started this hobby and why I really got into it when I got back from my 10-year hiatus was I wanted my models to look different than anything else that anyone else had. I wanted them to look individual through their color schemes. I had 100 night goblins from Warhammer Fantasy. I've told this story before, but I love using it as a reference point. And I had all of these extra dwarf bits, dwarf frames, because I had been asked to paint a bunch of dwarfs, and so I had all of these extra arms holding the beer cans and helmets, extra helmets that I wasn't doing anything with. And I ended up just throwing helmets and hands with little beer steins on them onto the night goblins. Just absolutely ridiculous. I put some of the night goblins, I shaved off their night goblin circle shields, their circular shields, and I threw the dwarf shields on them. Like they just rampaged through a dwarf stronghold and they raided their armory and they left with all these helmets and shields. The options are really limited only by your imagination. And just to go a little bit further into what I mean, man, I used to be so creative. Check this out. It's like the third video I ever posted on YouTube. It's from over a decade ago. This was a kit-bashed squad of knobs, and I went through every single one to really focus on the things that would make them specific to their clan, as well as embody what I wanted to make these guys equipped with, their loadout, which was to be cyborgs. And I basically only used stuff from the orc range, including, let's take a look at my Evil Sons guy here. I gave him the exhaust looking head, where he's got an exhaust pipe coming out of his head, and I used from the truck sprue, along with to be hard boys, which was the super extra armored equivalent. I gave them lots of extra armor bits from the knob sprue, but I gave him a gear shift in the middle of his back, and I wrote on and off on the left and the right side. I used to be so creative. What happened to me? I grew up. Oh man, I was like Peter Pan back in this day, guys. I was so into converting. This guy had this bit from the truck sprue, which was just a bunch of readouts and meters. And I thought it would look so good instead of just another piece of armor. And so I threw that on his right arm there. I kit bashed him the truck headlight. I glued that onto his left shoulder pad. I created that green stuff commissar's cap out of, I think I rolled 2 balls of green stuff. I read this in a white dwarf, I think, and then I flattened out the bottom one for the red part, and then I flattened out an even smaller part for the black one on top. I set them, and man, I was just so into creating just as much interesting looking things as I could. Visually, I wanted them to look amazing. That's why I glued his head on at that angle. I wanted his power claw to be set so that he's looking over his slugga with his power claw raring to go, and that spotlight right there on the on his shoulder pad, looking forward while he's looking to the right. I just wanted, I had so much visual like artistry back when I first was really into converting. I lost a lot of that because I think I've been more of a stickler to kind of sticking to what Games Workshop is putting on their box covers. But look, I used a Warhammer Fantasy Black Orcs banner pole. I clipped off the jaws and I made them like his helmet on the sides. And then I think my favorite part of this conversion, besides him carrying the back banner, which is glued on his back, I took a crank from the truck and I slapped that on his power claw, along with painting the power claws to look like they're actual claws from a giant animal instead of metal. Because snake bites are known for their aversion to technology, his power claw is powered by cranking it up. And I thought that was so much fun to do, and like I was really focusing on what makes these clans individual and unique, what makes them specifically that culture, and I wanted to embody that with my conversions. This Evil Sunz, I think the only conversion that I did was the power claw, just painting on some lightning bolts. Anyways, as you can see, I found my inspiration from just digging into the fluff and the fiction and the history of these models. I also did a lot of research online to see what other people were doing. So if you're going to be tackling the side quest of the conversions and the kit bash, I hope you take advantage of all the resources that are out there. Dig into your army books, dig into the history of the factions of whatever you're painting and whatever you want to do. Remember, it doesn't have to be what your project is. It could be completely different and separate. All right, we're taking a look at some of Ninjado's work there, as well as Leo Films, I think his latest video. We're really churning them out in the Discord, you guys. I just took a look today. There was like 16 new messages posted, so keep them coming, keep them going. And if you're planning on jumping in, then please head over there. The link is below in the description. It's a great place to track your progress, as well as follow everybody else who's taking part in the challenge. This is going to be great for August if you're planning on participating. If you'd like to support me, you can also head over to the merch store. Links below in the description. Igor's Trade House. Use the promo code Hobbyton for 10% off the entire store. All right, guys, this is just a little look down my memory lane, as well as some of the interesting things that are going on today with that Thousand Suns army. Hope you enjoyed it. Special thanks to Daniel Sprinkle, Scragfist, Pix, Dicey Guy, Play It Painted, Logan Swanson, Seption, and David Moffat. We'll see you guys in the next video.